rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every card by heart. Oh, the curtain lights. This is it. We'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show. This is it.
Hiya, kids. It's 5:30-ish. Again.
Ish.
Ish. It's 5:30-ish. We do this thing every Wednesday. REALTOWN with John and Tracy. And Frank, too.
Oh, like Frank's cut off.
Hi, everybody. I'm John. She's Tracy. And over there is our special guest star.
How you doing?
Frank Cicito.
Frankie, we're going to get you in the shot, baby, because, you know.
Where is he? There he is.
I was hoping I was just going to be the voice
Anonymous.
from above, behind the curtain.
You're our Jonathan Harris, Frank. You're a special guest star every week.
Frankie! I'm looking
at man, what a week.
I got news.
You were busy. You saw a cool show.
I did.
You were busy. You've got some news. I myself, no.
That's real nice, John.
I spent the weekend at home. Now, this is a good thing, but it's not necessarily living on the razor's edge. I spent it at East Brunswick, New Jersey with my dad. Oh, so are you going to the store? I could go along. No, Dad, I want to get back tonight. So I love you, but okay.
It's not a weekend trip.
All of us. So
What's
you're off the hook?
Did your dad still drive?
A little.
He does. Oh.
I mean, he doesn't go on the highway anymore, and
I hope
you know,
not.
I got my appointment. My cardiologist in Morristown. I got to go up to 287. No, Dad, you don't, because I'll take you. Oh, good. And he'll sit there watching. You know, what does that say? It says Red Sox 5, Dodgers 3. I can't see that.
Yes, that is exactly what it said.
And there is that.
There it is exactly what it said. Actually, it was ended up being, I think, was it 5-3 or 5-4? Or no, wait.
In the seventh, it was 5-3.
I know they won. Thanks. I know. Thank you for that. I know.
Just letting you know they won.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
She was the
but
first to
I
tell
actually,
everybody.
because it goes so late, so I end up usually I start passing out. You know, 'cause those innings. I mean, by the 8th inning, I'm like.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean?
So at any rate, that was my excitement this week. I mean, it's good to hang around with Dad. If he's 89 and he's the man, he is the man. I love that guy. Awful.
8-4.
8-4.
Yeah.
Well, that works. Yeah. So, all right, what's the buzz?
Well, let's talk about her Red Sox since we've already started it. You know, she's all excited about it.
You know what? I have to say this though, because I actually think the Houston Astros are or were a better team than the Dodgers. So when we beat the Astros, I feel a little more comfortable with the Dodgers, because the Astros were, I mean, I thought were a more superior team to the Dodgers. But, you know, the thing is, I think we can clinch this, you know, as long as we don't make any stupid errors. And, you know, you never know. Baseball's funny. You never know what's going to happen. And it's just, you know, the wrong throw, a foul ball. I mean, it could be anything that'll just change the entire game. So
reincarnation of Bill Buckner. What?
Oh, God. Don't say Bill
fan
Buckner.
reaching in over the wall. You know.
I know.
Don't need none of that.
Yeah. Oops.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Yeah. He would have caught that.
Yeah, he would have.
Joe Garagiola said it years ago. Baseball
is
a funny game.
Yeah.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah, you know, and yes, it is very long. So, you know, when it starts at 8:00 at night. You know, usually by 10, I'm off for the count. You know, I'm good to go. But you know, I wake up in the morning and I check to make sure, or I ask Alexa, who won the Red Sox game last night?
Exactly.
Well, Tracy, the score was Red Sox 8 and Dodgers 4.
I thought you had the British Alexa.
A British? No, I don't. I just added that in myself.
She just wishes it was that way.
I wish it was. Well, my Siri is British.
That's what it is. I knew you had some British gal on the thing over there.
I think I got either
Siri,
British or Australian in my car
last night.
from my navigation, so I get
The
it.
Dodgers were beaten by the Red Sox in Game 1 of the World Series yesterday. The final score was 8-4.
Oh,
Does she say when it's 0? Does she say nil?
I don't think so. Oh, I love talking. I love that. I don't know why. What it is with the British accent, though. We should ask something else. Can we ask something else?
What do you want to know? What time's the game tonight?
Oh, I already know that. Give me something spicy. Like something weird. Give me something crazy and see how she answers it in a British way. Like
who got bomb threatened today?
Oh.
John.
Well, I'm just asking a question. A weird question.
That's not weird. It's like it just happens.
It's a little thing. I mean, no.
Right,
I'll fall over if
Wait,
she
okay,
says,
wait.
I'll fall over.
I got one.
I will fall over if she says, Debbie, Washerwoman Schultz. Go ahead.
Okay. Siri, who has the biggest ass in Hollywood?
Okay, I found this on the web for who has the biggest ass in Hollywood.
Doesn't say it. Just gives you. Notice how I didn't.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
I'm just asking a quick.
Oh, shut up.
What?
Johnny.
Portia, do shut
Johnny.
up.
Oh, do
From a
shut
fish
up,
called
Johnny.
Wanda. I had to get a little shot in there. So what else?
So I watched a little bit of the game last night. Not very long, but here's my question: what's up with? I guess I don't like. 80s was the last time I really followed baseball.
Oh, shit.
Like on a regular basis. Maybe 90s, right? So why do we have starting pitchers if we just go to the bullpen after the third or fourth inning? Like nobody goes in playoffs, right?
I think this is a very.
Like this is like the new thing now.
This
like,
is a recent phenomenon.
60 pitches, you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Go into the bullpen. Like
this is a recent phenomenon. They started this late in the regular season and the early postseason. One of the games, and I forget which team. It might have been the Oakland Athletics in the wild card. They did nothing the one game except put relief pitchers in, even to begin the game.
I mean, I get that one because they were trying to save their starters for the next round.
So they don't get injured. Or,
right. And I get that.
Don't get worn
right.
out,
And I get the other thing
whatever.
where the other guy threw like 4 pitches the other night and then he came out. But he only did it because they tried to make them adjust their lineup to a lefty.
Right.
And then they brought in a righty pitcher on
Right,
purpose. I get that. I get that.
That
right?
happens late in the game. You'll get somebody and he'll face 1 or 2 guys, and then off he goes. Now this whole phenomenon is just.
But at the fourth inning, and I got 2-hitter going, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're done for the night. Thanks anyway." Hit the showers, and they bring in the
Well, because
what happens when you used to go 9 innings?
It's the World Series.
I don't care what it is.
Listen, they want their best pitchers in their best condition.
You're telling me the '78 Yankees, Ron Guidry went 3 innings
We're not
and they
talking
pulled
about
them
the
out
70s.
for Gossage?
This is 2018.
But that's my point.
Stop
When
living
did
in the past.
I'm trying
Dwight
to figure out
Gooden's gonna go
when and why
3
it
innings in
changed.
86?
I don't know
I
when.
don't think
I don't know
so.
when.
Like what is the benefit to this? Are you saving his arm because in the Righetti and all these guys from Dwight Gooden and David Cohn, they would go 8-9 innings and have no problems. So what's wrong with the kids today? They can't play.
Exactly, babies, big
There it
babies.
is.
All right.
It's
They're
all
big
this
babies.
pitch
People
count.
are
I just wanted somebody else to say it
people
instead
aren't
of me.
tough like they used to be. They don't.
No.
We didn't have the rubber mats in the playgrounds. We didn't have that.
No.
We had cement. You fell, you broke your arm. That's it.
Bikes
You
with
deal with
helmets.
it.
What the hell's
I
that?
pushed
deal
Scott
with
Williams
it.
off the equipment one time when he thought he
Jeez.
broke his arm for 2 days.
You ever go to a playground recently? You ever look at those? I mean,
Yeah.
everything's like safety. There's no corners anymore. Everything's rounded corners.
That's like baby
How are you
protected.
supposed to get scars and know how life really is?
Exactly. You're
Well, we
supposed to
feel
bleed a
that the
little
children are adverse to scarring
We
and
don't-
should be not
don't
scarred
want any
because it'll
bloodshed.
scar them if they're scarred.
That's the
bit.
idea.
Bouncy. The best thing is the ground though. That just
The
knocks
rubber
me out.
ground.
There's one right in Robbinsville. There's one. I walk Sadie there, and every time I walk on it, me and Sadie are like, "Oh, this is great.
Cushy.
It's like cushy." I'm like, "What happened?"
My buddy Bernie said it's all about analytics. Listen, I get it. It's about analytics. I just don't see what the benefit is.
Thanks, Bernie.
You
Because
know, it's,
when
it's,
I see Coney throwing no hit complete games and things
we
like
can go
that,
back. We can go
and I
back
say,
to Davey Johnson to thank him for this because he was one of, if you remember, the
He
first
did.
managers
He completely
who did
did
all
that.
the computerized analytics back again in the 80s.
I agree.
So what? Oakland
but
A's? Who's
No.
no,
He was
with the
Mets.
Mets back
That's
in the
back in the
80s,
80s.
85, 86.
Bill Buckner. What?
But here's my thing, right? He did that. He was the first to do that.
Yeah.
His pitchers didn't come out after 3
No, they
4
did not.
innings.
No.
He
No.
regularly Gooden went 7-8 innings every game.
Here's my point.
Right?
My point is this: is that they have taken the germ of that idea, and taken it to the nth degree
Right.
of minutia, making it a formulaic activity rather than a baseball game.
Doesn't
You know what I mean?
I feel maybe you get better as you're playing. You have a first couple innings and you go
agree.
back. Guess what? By the 7th, 8th inning, you're smoking.
Yeah.
But you don't get it. You don't get to see that.
Well, you
It's,
get
it's
sore?
adrenaline. It's adrenaline. It's
No,
Yogi Berra said it years ago, and it's ha, but not really. It's 90% of this game is half mental. Okay.
Right.
I think that any sport is like that, though.
Correct.
I mean, any sport it's a mental and physical combination.
And when you get to the World Series, you are now the best of the best. When you get to the Super Bowl, you get to the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals, the PGA, the Masters. You are now on the last round. You are now the best of the best.
Right.
So I don't want to hear about, oh, my arm's tired. You know what? Suck it up, Buttercup, and get some adrenaline in you and win this game.
yeah.
Play your best. This is not April 19th and it's snowing and my arm is stiffed up in Colorado because we're playing the Rockies. I get that. This is now October in Boston and then soon in Los Angeles.
There used to be
Best
this
of the
thing
best.
called a rhythm,
Yeah.
and gameplay,
Exactly.
and we know it from football. As
Of course.
But it's
you
just
can't.
But every sport is different. They've done so many changes. Not just in football, they've
Agreed.
done changes in hockey. I mean, like hockey now, you don't see as much fighting anymore because
No, that's horrible. It's ruining hockey
It's
again.
like you get a couple punches in there. Before, I mean, you would throw down and have teeth missing and everything.
For
I mean, it
sure.
was no joke. You
Like
can't
your boy
do
from
that
Trenton who would
anymore.
go all white.
They
Yeah.
changed everything. The way the penalty works, the shootouts, the friggin' shootouts.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
The icing, the way they changed. And then football, same thing. The fumbling and the way they handle the ball, it's different.
Targeting
where you are on
and-
the line and like everything every time.
Two-hand touch the
it used to be-
quarterback.
right? Exactly. Like
It's
every
a personal
sport is
foul. If he
dealing-
does it again, he's ejected.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Whispering in his ear, he's down.
Everything's- Yeah,
Down by
exactly.
contact from the breath.
Everything. And then I watch like games. I watch like basketball or soccer is a perfect example. Actually, when you watch
Oh,
World Cup
please.
soccer,
That's
so
the
like they're running,
worst.
and then the guy goes, ah,
6
ah,
tumble salts.
Yep. And they flop.
Convulsions.
Yeah. It's like, penalty. I don't know what the penalty is in soccer.
Red
But
card.
I'm like, what? And
Yellow card.
Basketball's like that too. Basketball does
Oh,
that
yeah.
too. They go,
Oh, yeah.
Like in hockey, you gotta get punched squared in the face and break your nose to
Right.
go down like that. Like
And-
there's no joke.
And
right.
if you break your nose, you're coming back in 10 minutes
Oh,
after
yeah,
they stitch
yeah.
you up.
You put a little
Yeah.
Band-Aid. You put a Band-Aid on there, and that's it. I mean,
Well,
I
it
don't
used to
know.
be football until about, 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, it's changed.
It's horrible.
It's changed. Did you see that brawl?
That
was,
wasn't a brawl.
it was,
the Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah, the
that's not a-
Lakers.
that's not a brawl.
Well, what
That's
it
a
is?
basketball brawl.
It's a brouhaha.
It's a basketball
There was
brawl.
there was one punch connected and a bunch of girls slapping each other.
Is that what it was? Well,
Meow,
Rondo,
meow, meow.
see
Meow,
Rondo,
meow, meow, meow.
Rondo, who I actually was kind of taken back by it because I followed Rondo when he was on the Celtics,
Right.
Yeah.
and Rondo was like the cute kind of like little. Like he surprised me with that punch. I was like, little Rondo, look at
Yeah,
that
he's
punch.
not
He
normal.
through it.
But apparently they have
They've had beef for
yeah,
years.
for
They've
a
had
long
beef.
time.
It was a buildup.
Because they weren't
Yeah.
even involved in what happened.
No.
Something happened and the two of them were off to the side and
then they were like-
well, since it's going on, we
Yeah.
might as well do it.
Yeah, remember me,
You know?
bitch? It's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch
Yeah,
it, sucker.
Yeah, they had quite a beef, and and they actually on ESPN they showed the documentation of their beef, which I thought was like so awesome because it was
Wow.
like this game that happened 10 years ago. Look at that. They
That's where it
it
started.
was like this. Yeah. And then the 5 years later, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I get it. Yeah, it was like that. It was a timeline of their beef. It was pretty awesome, actually.
Coming up on Behind the Music.
That's
when they
awesome.
nearly lost it all.
Oh my God, I was just reading something really interesting about Ricky Lake.
Yeah,
Not personally.
the old talk show host.
Yeah, Ricky Lake. Well, Ricky Lake was
Hairspray.
Hairspray. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but she was talking about how she had a threesome recently.
Whoa.
Oh, hey, whoa.
She's
hey,
very
hey,
forthcoming about. But
Guys-
anyways,
guys, girls.
so I
Like-
didn't say.
Okay,
Didn't
just
say.
checking. I don't
so
know.
she
Just
was
a-
on.
I don't know which
question.
side she's on. That's why I'm asking.
If you know, give us a call. We're taking calls. 609-807-2492.
If you were there, give us a call.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you were there,
got
give us a
video.
call.
If you have video, give us a call.
609-807-2492.
But it was on Watch What Happens live with Andy Cohen, and I like watching that sometimes because the celebrities will say things you usually don't expect them to say, or they'll
Right.
come out with things, and because they start drinking a little bit on that show. I love that. You know what I mean?
Oh, behave.
And so they were asking her all these questions, and that was, have you had a threesome in the past 10 years? And she was like, yes. Did you do this, do that? And then one of the things she was talking about, how she went to the Oscars, and this is in the early 80s. It was a long time ago. And she said Lucille Ball was really, really nasty, like really mean, didn't want to be there, was smoking a cigarette, and was like, and I could totally picture her
Yeah.
doing
Oh, yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like old Lucille Ball. Man, she was,
Oh, yeah.
you could see it like,
She was fired up.
this place sucks. The Oscars suck. I mean, I could totally see
What
it.
am I doing here?
What am I doing here?
I don't know what I'm doing here.
I
I'm
can't
having a
stand any of
cigarette.
these people.
Maggie.
Why am I here?
Well, it's like Jerry Lewis. You know, as he got older, he was a crotchety old dude.
He became a curmudgeon.
Very
man.
angry.
Oof.
Very angry.
But they do, like, it's like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. It's the same thing. It's like, get off my lawn. You know,
Well, I
they
do
all
that
get
to
like,
the kids out by me all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah, they all get like, and I think we're all gonna get like that.
I'm already there.
You're actually, you know what? You are already there,
Yeah.
because I think I've called you. A
Oh, I do,
curmudgeon.
because
I
the
think I've
little
called you a
Oriental
curmudgeon.
kids, they have to wait on my lawn for the bus. Hey, get off my lawn, step on the street. And
You
they look at
really
me
do
like
that to the kids?
every freaking morning.
You are just a curmudgeon.
Wow.
You're a curmudgeon.
Yep.
I don't care.
I
Walk
haven't-
on my grass all day. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's
no,
what I
no,
feel.
no. You want me to come down and step on your property there, Bing Bong?
Yeah, I
Get
don't
off
care.
my lawn.
They're kids.
And the mother stands there, too.
Yeah, but they're what?
No.
Listen,
Out.
I'm okay
Off.
with it until they start throwing their cigarette butts and everything
that's
else.
different.
Then we got
Yeah,
a
well,
problem.
that's
You're
different.
standing on my grass. I'm okay with that.
Nah, no, not your
What?
property.
So
Get
you
off,
do?
sit-
You really do
stand
come
in
out?
the
Oh my
street.
God!
Yeah,
I
all
want
the
a
time.
video of John coming out of his
I
house.
might have to just go over there and shoot one
Yeah,
for us and
yeah.
then bring it on the show.
Get off my lawn, you kids!
Now-
They're like,
now they have
"Ooh,
the front
what are you
door,
gonna
but
do
then
for
they get-
Halloween? Ooh, let's go egg the John Balon
right.
house. Let's go egg him. He's an asshole. Yeah.
Let's put eggs all over his lawn.
Yeah, let's toilet paper his trees. Yeah, he's a douchebag. Yeah.
Yep.
You know that's coming.
I
know?
agree.
I mean, I'm on the cusp of the curmudgeon. I'm not there yet.
On the curmudgeonly
I'm the cusp curmudgeon.
Now, why
So I'm
is
not there.
that?
Well, because sometimes things like I get pissed, man. But I think I've always been that way. I don't know.
I
if
can
I'm
see
more
that. You're
pissed
from
now.
Boston.
Yeah, but I'm.
It's like
pissed.
in your
I'm
genes. You
just
have to be
mad.
that way.
I'm
Tell me
just
if you've heard
angry.
this before. Actually, a bit of a fireball.
I am a fire. Exactly. I am a fireball.
I'm a fireball.
Yeah. Well, what's when something like tease me off, you get me to that place.
Oh, look out.
It's
Danger.
hard. It's hard. Yeah. I get
Yeah.
mad. You see me mad?
She's a fireball.
Have you seen me mad?
Little bit. Not like full blown, like hacked
At
off.
work though.
At
You know?
work. Oh, I've.
Yeah, at work I used to get really
See
mad.
you, Rube. Y'all be cool.
Cool, Ruben.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you saw me at work a couple
A
times
couple
at
few
work. Yeah,
times,
it
I was like, oh man,
Man, that
what
was-
who did what to whom?
Problem
what
is, I
did
can't
they
hide
say?
it. I can't hide
I
it.
know,
I
I
can't
know.
hide it. When I'm pissed, I want everybody to know. Everybody in this room got to know I'm pissed off. Every single person.
Look out! Here it comes.
I mean, ultimately, that's pretty much what got me out of there, was because I was very verbal about my feelings about certain people, and I let everybody know.
Permission to speak freely? No. Too bad. I'm speaking anyway.
Exactly.
And that's the way it is.
You know what? Listen, I got a lot to say. I got a lot to share.
I understand. It's all right.
You know?
It's good.
So
Get it out.
whatever. I
Vent the
don't care.
steam.
You want to talk about what happened today?
What happened? Oh, you mean about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just
Oh,
sit
I'm
back
asking.
and watch.
We don't
What
have to
happened
talk.
today? What am I missing?
About the bomb?
The bombs?
You can't say bomb, okay? Don't say the word bomb.
Listen,
You
What, the
can't say-
bomb? Why can't we say bomb?
I say
Bomb,
what I
bomb,
want.
bomb,
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 Iran.
bomb, bomb, bomb.
I'm not
bomb,
an airport. I'm good right now.
bomb. That's true. We're not on a plane, so we can't say bomb. I don't know. I'll let you guys go for it.
My
Go
son
ahead,
is
I'll
coming
just-
across
I'll sit
the
back.
this is
coming
what-
across the terminal one time. Hi, Jack. Oh, you see, my
Yeah.
son's name is Jack. You should see the freaking
Oh,
TSA
yeah.
people bubble up out of underneath
Yeah.
the rocks.
Yeah, hi, Jack.
That's my son, Jack,
Yeah.
knucklehead.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I bet you are.
All right, go.
This is where I go.
Here
right?
you go.
You go, and I'll just sit back and enjoy the ride.
I think the problem is Republicans and Democrats. Get rid of it. We don't need either one.
What would you do differently?
Just be like
Not
all-
have a party. You should run on your merits. You should run on
No
your
party
merits.
at all. Like, get rid of
there's
the whole party.
Because here's my thing. If you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, there's got to be something that party represents that you don't like.
That's true.
And if you don't like it, then how can you say I'm all for them?
Because there's a lot of things like I don't like certain foods, but
Right.
that doesn't mean I won't
Okay.
try them.
But if you
eat them occasionally.
If you
not gonna
don't
not
like
eat, right?
here, if you don't like Taco Bell, are you going to go to Taco Bell and talk about Taco Bell?
No, I'm not going to do that.
So then why, if you don't like something
But if
that a
there's no
Republican or a
food-
Democrat represents?
But if there was no food left on the earth and the only thing left to eat was Taco Bell, I'd
But-
eat Taco Bell.
But this is where the problem lies. If you go back in history to where we first started
Yes.
as a country,
Yes.
the politicians then are completely different than politicians now.
Absolutely.
And that's the problem. It's not the people of America. It's the politicians that are making the people of America do these things. Right?
Well, now, here, I'll say this
Because
about
of
that.
brainwashing and because they don't think for themselves and they follow a party line and that's it. It's my party line or nothing.
You've got people out there in the last few weeks, and this is not piling on because it's been documented, okay, whether it's CNN or Fox or MSNBC or whomever else. You've got people out there, the Maxine Waters of the world, the one fellow, I forget if he's from Maryland or Georgia, I can picture him, squinchy-faced fellow from Congress, and you've got Mrs. Clinton out there saying something, and I'm paraphrasing now, so please indulge me, something to the effect that we have to not be civil until it's time to be civil, meaning when they take over again. Now, okay, here's what has happened. They put this out there, and whoever they are, it could be whomever, but these are the people who I understand have done this. They put it out there and put it out there and put it out there.
So they're responsible.
Hold on.
No, they're not.
One moment.
Okay, keep going.
Not that they're responsible, but here's the thing. There was a guy, I don't know, in the 30s and 40s who kept putting stuff out there and out there and out there that people bought, and that ended up going quite badly in Germany. Okay.
Oh, that would be Adolf Hitler?
Yes, of course.
You can say it.
Well, I'm just saying.
John tries not
I
to
am
say
not-
things. He always gets in trouble. So
I am not equating anybody here to him. I am not. But what I am saying, I'm not.
Sorry.
You okay? You got a little something?
I had a cough.
You
You
got a
got a
little
little sinus.
schmutz there.
Yeah,
You all right?
Yeah, I'm
I
right.
am not. But what I am saying is that here now it's been put out there and out there and out there to not be civil. Now people are not being civil to their own folks, so to speak. And now they don't like it. And let me tell you what, it's not a likable thing. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't even want George Soros to be hurt, as much as I am not a fan of that guy or the former president or the former president's family, the other former president's family, or Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz or whomever, or CNN or Time Warner. I am or I'm not a fan. That matters not. I don't want people getting hurt because of what they are and where they come from. That's stupid. But you start putting stuff out there, sure as God makes little green apples, people are going to act.
the issue is this.
That's the problem.
The issue is each side has extremists. So when something they read or hear or follow sets them on a path, right? So I'll give you an example, and we'll go back to football for this. So we have a football team, and we say, okay, everybody on the team who's playing this year has dues that are due, and it's $150.
Right.
If you don't pay your dues, you can't play.
Right.
Well, Johnny from inner city that has no money goes and robs the 7-Eleven for $150, shows up tomorrow at practice, and goes, John, here's the $150. I'm ready to play. Because we didn't say it right, this guy went out and robbed a 7-Eleven to get his $150.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what's going on.
Well, we didn't
so
say it
taking
wrong.
it what
We
you're
didn't-
saying
we
is
didn't say
somebody said
get
we
it by
can't.
any means necessary. We
No,
just said
but
you need
that's how
$150.
extremists take it.
I understand
So this
that.
guy who's sending out bombs feels that his party is being slighted. Maybe we don't know who it is, and we don't know whether it's a Democrat or a Republican.
It shouldn't be, period, but it is. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
It's definitely
But
Republican.
You don't know that.
Really?
Why would they not send bombs to themselves to try and help get their votes in, saying that Trump did this?
Self-sabotage, put it on the other
kidding?
guy.
Well,
or it could
have
be
you not
the
thought
other
of
guy's
it?
putting it on him.
Nobody said he's an intelligent. I mean, he could be an
I'm-
idiot.
exactly.
I mean, we
I
don't
agree.
know.
I'm just saying, we don't
Devil's
know
advocate.
either
Nobody
side,
knows
right?
yet. It'll come
we don't
out.
know.
Well, it definitely will come out. I mean, they're going to trace it because
Of
they're
course,
they,
of course.
If they can trace the Unabomber to the woods, they can trace this guy.
I've
You know
already
what I mean?
heard people blaming Russians for this already. So.
Well, they're always blaming Russians for everything. Aren't they?
I'm just kidding.
I think, and it's.
I haven't heard that
and
yet,
it's
but I'm
exactly what
sure.
you said. I mean, it is. There is extremists on both sides, and that's the truth. I mean, but this is the problem: is that a lot of a lot of the Republicans believe like it's all Democrats, it's all them, and then a lot of Democrats go, it's the Republicans, it's all them, it's all them.
It's not is the problem.
It's not either, and that's what I'm trying to say is that I'm a Democrat, but there are people that I know who are Democrats, and they're a little too much for me. Let's calm down, a little too much. Like you know what I mean, and that's my party.
Same here with the other side. I'm a GOP guy, and
I
this
totally
guy-
agree, and this is
guy's
my
taking too
problem.
much from me.
That's got to go away.
Yeah.
We need to become American again.
Yeah.
We're not Republicans. We're not Democrats. We're Americans.
You wanna be like a
Stop
united
trying
front?
to hurt the other party. We need to start doing things the right. Listen, George Washington, when he became president, they said, George, you're going to be president until you die. And he said, no, I'm going to be president for 4 years, and then you're going to get somebody else. Because if we do this, we're going to be right back where we were, what we just fought for.
away
right?
from.
Exactly.
Well,
and now we're doing the same exact things.
Well, and they're like here you go, perfectly. John Adams, he was a lawyer from Massachusetts.
Sorry, we
you're
might have a
good.
guest, so I'm just.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, okay.
Today?
Right now, but hold on.
Oh, nice.
John Adams was a lawyer from Massachusetts. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
when
know who he is.
Yeah, of course. Well, not personally because he's been dead for like 200 years. But
I do know him personally.
and he was a lawyer.
Right.
He was a barrister from Massachusetts. When he was done with his deal in Washington, in Philadelphia, and then Washington, guess what? He went home to Massachusetts. He also was a gentleman farmer. Okay, so he did that, and he was now he was an older guy, but he went home. He didn't like Strom Thurmond. He didn't spend a gazillion
60 years, right.
60 years or however many, or like Ted Kennedy
What's our phone number?
He wasn't there. He didn't spend darn near all of his adult life in public service.
Right.
You did your thing for the term, or maybe two, and then you went home.
What's our phone number?
609-807-2492.
Continue.
Out of town, don't call collect.
We have a lot of people watching, so I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody who's watching
happening.
today.
Thank you.
All my no slack Army guys out there.
Look at the camera. Look at the.
Miss
stop
you
looking
guys.
Over there. Look over there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I do it too. I always look over there. I don't know why.
The problem
I
is
do
this.
it all the time.
The
I gotta
problem
look
is
there.
I'm facing away from the camera. If I face this way, then I'm not facing you guys, and I
turn
feel
your head.
like I'm talking
I
to
do
you
this.
guys.
I do this thing. I do this, but then
Right.
I keep going like that, and then I'm like.
So it's like it's hard because then I got to go this way to face the camera. Hey, camera,
Bring the mic
and then you guys are like over
closer
here.
to us.
And Gene's over like, you guys are nuts. NVTS nuts.
I mean,
What?
I think next week I'm just gonna sit on John's lap and we'll go from there.
How about no?
What could help? No, I like having it on the screen. Don't take it off. I love it. I like to see us.
Yeah, no, we need it on the screen.
We're so pretty.
609-807-2492.
It's the only thing that reminds me not to pick my nose. Is I see myself
Don't
on
do
the
that,
screen, you know?
Get a tissue and flush it afterwards, would you please?
609-807-2492. Yeah. It's a hell of a thing
So-
because you're exactly right. In the span of 235, 40 years, it's gone from let's get down, let's get in, let's do, and then we go home
Get
to
down.
I'm going to make this a career for 50 years or more. No.
I look at it like, you hear these things about like I'm from an Italian family, right?
Is that right?
And when you're growing up as an Italian family, families fight.
Yeah.
But when someone comes after the family,
Ooh,
it's
look
a
out.
whole different thing, right? I'm going to bring up 9/11 for a second
to get out of my head, yes.
because here's the deal, right? 9/11 happened. For 3 months, there was not one horn honked in New York.
Right.
Not one person honked. Everybody let somebody else in. Everybody stopped at the yellows. Everybody was on the same page.
Right.
And then it slowly faded
Wait a
away, and here we are again,
On that point.
back to where we hate each other.
Perfect. What did I say? Different show when we were here with Kurt on
Yeah.
that show. Do you remember what I said? And this is a year ago.
Remind me, please.
This is what I said. I said, the problem is the only time this country comes together is when there's a tragedy.
Yeah.
For sure.
9/11,
100%.
Oklahoma bombings, anything that impacts this country, all of a sudden, no one's Republican, nobody's, we're all united with school
Right.
shootings,
For
anything
sure.
like that. Whenever there's a tragedy that
It's
affects
not even
people
school shootings
massively-
anymore. We're not
Well,
even
now
together
we're
on
numb to
that.
it. Now
It's
we're
horrible.
Now we're
And
numb
that
to that. That's
stinks.
true. That's true. But I'm saying, like, let's go back Columbine those days
Right.
when
Of
it was
course.
when it was
Right,
a
when
new
it first
thing.
was a thing.
Right. But 9/11, it was like, I would be at Dunkin' Donuts and a fireman would walk in and I'd be like, I love you. Like I had
Buy him a coffee.
My
Yeah,
heart
hello.
was so filled with like just love for my country and my people, and it was and I want to feel that way, and that's sad. That
Yeah.
we need a tragedy of that magnitude to feel that warmth in our heart.
I think
that's
most
fucked up.
everybody.
Listen, I tell you, I say it all the
wants to
time.
feel that way. To be honest with you, they just because of all that goes on, all the finger pointing and that happens constantly. Social media.
Social media.
You know what I mean? It's mishandled. Social media can be very good, but it's
Social media's a
often
killer, man.
mishandled is the problem. There's all this sniping and carrying on. This screw you, I got mine, I me, my horse shit that's so prevalent in the Northeast and in the North into the Midwest and the big cities. It just is. It's horrible. And that, you know what? I think people really, whether they realize it or not, I really believe, and I have no emphasis to prove it or basis to prove it, that they want to feel exactly like you, and they do feel it, but they just like, well, I can't let my guard down because someone else is going to give me a shot, and I have to zing back. No, you don't. I mean, sometimes I'm the first one to zing back so often. You even say, I just can't help myself sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes I can. Guilty. Okay?
Sure.
But you know what? The zing-like tendencies or the zing-back tendencies at age now 54 versus, say, I don't know, age 35 or 40, a whole lot less. You
And
get a whole lot more
become so
perspective.
numb to violence,
And that's
too.
no good.
Like you
That is
said,
no good.
like the school shootings, it's gotten to a
Horrible.
point where it's like
Horrible.
commonplace.
Yeah.
It's commonplace to go and kill children.
No.
That's,
Right.
that's normal.
No.
Or-
You know,
God, it just angers
and
me.
it's really upsetting that, I mean, if I see, what was that? It was in Brooklyn or the Bronx. I can't remember, but there was a boy who was macheted to death.
Yes.
And it was on camera.
Yep.
It was a
bodega.
mistaken identity.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Yep.
Few
They
months
thought
ago.
he was, with some girl, but
was the Bronx,
but
you're right.
he looked just like the guy, and it wasn't him. So they macheted him live. I mean, they macheted him
Yeah.
on camera, and this
Yeah.
kid is crying and begging for his life while they're cutting off his limbs and blood's flying, everything. The Bortega's shoving him out, closing the door, and I watched it, and I wept. I wept. I said, "This is the most horrific thing that I have to see." Live on a
Yeah.
camera, and this happens all the time.
Yeah.
We just happen to see this,
Right.
and
So-
never mind in this country,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Oh.
The human beings are being slaughtered like pigs. I mean, and if you don't look at that and feel something, you are a douchebag. You're a scumbag. If you don't feel something, you don't have to break down in tears like I do, but your heart has to say, "Wow, I don't care." What is going on here, or what the situation is? This kid was macheted. He was like
No, it's no
18
good.
years old,
not
60,
even. He was like-
16.
He was
16 years old.
13 or 14.
Yeah, he was
And he
young.
was on the junior police and everything.
Yeah, he was.
Remember?
He was. That's right. And
Kid
they
was a good boy.
macheted him.
He was a good young man, and these
Disgusting.
knuckleheads just come in here and just sliced him up. And I'll admit too, it brought a tear, or more than just a tear to my eye, because you know what? I'm a father of a son.
Right.
Now the only difference is that I don't live in the Bronx. Okay, but I'm a father of a son, and it just one thought leads to another. And I had a discussion with a guy
Yeah.
at work,
Yeah.
another colleague, sorry, inside baseball, but another one of our former colleagues
Yeah.
today about this very thing, just being a father, being a parent. Just if you really stop, if you're any worth half your salt, if you stop and really think about that child of yours, I don't care if he's 21 months old or 21 years old like mine is, man, it brings a tear to your eye because you love them so much.
Right.
And then this kid, he was on his way,
Right.
and then nope.
And I guarantee people did watch that and felt nothing. That's what's even
Yeah,
scarier.
I know.
There are people that watched that and was like,
Yeah.
he deserves it.
Another one.
He was in
Probably
the
shouldn't
wrong
have been
place.
hanging
Oh,
around
it's the
there."
Bronx, Puerto Ricans, or whatever
Right,
they say.
right,
You know,
exactly.
there are people who watched it
Yeah.
and was like, yeah.
And it all
No.
stems from our society and what we're growing to. And my personal opinion, it starts at the top. Democrats and Republicans, and it trickles down to everything else because they're setting the example of what you should do and not do to the rest of the country.
But the problem is we're always going to need some sort of government.
I have no issues with having a government, but
right.
you have to have your own opinion.
So what kind? Okay, so let's throw it out there. Let's throw it out there.
Yeah.
So somebody stands up today and says, you know what? As of today, there will no longer be a Republican Party or a Democratic Party. Go ahead.
First of all, after the
Perfect.
furor from
and
both
let's
sides.
scratch everybody out. There's nobody left in Congress and Senate, and let's start from the beginning.
But don't you think?
Now we can get some people in there that haven't been there 60 years.
Yeah.
Doing old school stuff and going, well, I get my money from the drug company so I can vote their way, and I got some money in my bank from this guy, so I'm going to vote his way. Let's get rid of all that. That's part of the problem, too.
Do you think we should have a government that is duplicate, or not duplicate, or similar to like a lot of the parties in Europe, Canada? I mean, they run things completely different. They don't have the Democratic Republican Party.
Right.
But do you think something along those lines, similar to some? Because some places, if you go to like Iceland, I'm not talking just like, I'm talking like
Right.
the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you ever see, they have like no crime.
No.
They have nothing.
Nope.
The
I
have a
Netherlands
friend of mine
has
who,
like no, there's nothing.
He was a U.S. Marine, and he's out. He was over in
Finland.
Lebanon during the 80s, so he's part of that. He's a couple of years older than me, and he now lives in the Netherlands because of various personal things. But one of the big things for his profession, he was a helicopter mechanic. Okay, and he spent a good hunk of time with the Marine Corps as that, and he got out just knowing this. I don't know, the Sikorsky, let's just say, from top to bottom.
Right.
And he went to go work, and they're like, "Oh no, yeah, your service basically doesn't count. We're gonna have you go to the helicopter mechanic academy, and then maybe give us a call back." Versus in Europe, for whatever reason, and pardon me, Mark, if I'm getting this story somewhat convoluted, but the bottom line of it is, now as a disabled veteran, but as a younger man, you know, got over to Europe and just, yeah, sure, come on, we could use you right over here or over there or over there. What do you want? Again, I'm paraphrasing and embellishing, but why is it such a project to get things done? Number one. Number two, back to this whole thing about what would you do? I don't know what the different answer is. What I do know is the foundational aspects, like you said, Frank, of what this country is all about are spot on brilliance. The founding fathers, they
got it right.
They got it right.
Yeah.
The problem has been since, and I'm going to say, I'm not going to go too far out on a limb and say in the last 25 years since, mostly. It wasn't perfect before. It was
I
not.
think more than 25. I'm going to say even more.
At least.
Yeah.
I'm going to say at least.
Whatever the
25,
time frame.
because that goes back
it
to
goes way
93.
back.
That might even go back to the middle of the 20th century. But at least my bulk of my adult lifetime, okay, I'm going to say that, wow, it's really gone sideways on so many levels, even down to the local dog catcher. I don't want to. And I mentioned this before. I had often, and we talked about it at work. Up till very recently, and intrinsically, I still believe it, but absolutely not going to ever pursue it. But up until very recently, I'm like, you know what? I could do this job, meaning the presidency of the United States. Maybe not like that. I'd have to work into it. But ultimately, my ideas and the knowledge that I have, little or a lot, and the contacts of people who I have who are decent to me people, I could do it. You know what? I don't want to anymore.
Hey, you want to be a manager of global ones too?
Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore either. Okay, it was again a different time.
Exactly.
I don't want it anymore, and not just because I don't want to kowtow to this group or that group or That's what got Kennedy killed because he's told Sam Giancana, "I'm going to lay off of you guys," and he didn't.
Right.
Okay, and that's the end of that.
Well, I'm
not going to do it because and here's the other thing. I'm going to wrap this up. No. Along with that, I'll deal with that. But you know what? I don't. Everybody wants a damn story about somebody. I don't want them flipping over rocks looking at my life. under the electron
Don't break a law.
microscope.
Don't break a law and go to court either, because they'll be flipping. They'll be
I'm-
flipping that wrong.
I'm no choir boy, but you know
and let's
what?
talk
I'm
about
a pretty
that.
decent
Yeah.
guy. I don't want people snooping around because, oh my God, he's twice divorced. So what? Okay. And you know what?
Well, so is Donald Trump. But that's okay.
But you know what?
He's
but
the president. That doesn't matter.
But you know what I mean. But he came in, like it or not. He had some juice underneath him. He had some
Right,
success.
but
underneath
of course.
him.
I'm just saying
Joe
his
regular
divorces.
guy.
Yeah, his divorces didn't
Correct.
mean
But there's all
anything.
kinds of wacky
Yeah.
stuff. And well, he was a fraternity brother in college. Let's see what he did out at Susquehanna
Did you
University.
haze anybody?
You know,
Did
what's
you
that?
haze- Did you haze anybody?
Oh, sure.
Of course.
Absolutely.
It's coming
it
out-
was
it's coming out.
1982, 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It didn't.
Doesn't matter.
It did then, but it didn't. I mean, it was what it was. Okay. You know, oh, so you had guys running around your house in the noob with LP records shoved up their ass, and if they
LP.
dropped it, they had
Wow.
to chug beer? Yeah, kind of.
45?
LP Records.
Was it a 45 or a full album?
No, LP.
33.
Yeah,
big
that's a
album.
long play.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't my idea, but we did it, and we thought it was funny, okay? Enough said. Sorry.
You made me think of something else now.
Go ahead. But I mean, I just
Well,
wouldn't do it now because you know
So-
what? People are so desirous of knocking people down.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
and
it.
it goes in it's every part of life that we have in our country is that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of lawyers,
Yeah.
you're a defense lawyer and you know your client's guilty,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you still
Sure.
do whatever you can to get
About
them
the
off.
mighty buck, baby.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
Follow the money.
we should have a law that says lawyer client privileges. I'm okay with that, but John is my lawyer and says to me, Frank, did you do this? And I say, well, yeah, but what are we going to do? How are we going to get out of this? And
All
John
right.
says,
I'll do
well,
it.
then this is what we're going to do.
I'm out.
We're going to plead because that's all we can do. We're going to plead because you admitted to me that you did it. And now we're going to plead to get you 5 years instead of life
Right.
or whatever, right? Whatever the situation presents. And go in that direction instead of going, hey, you know what? I got this lawyer and he's going to get me off
Well, look
because
at
he's got, he knows
Right.
how to do.
Look at what's her name?
That makes us better as a society.
No.
I mean, how does
Look
that?
at what's her name?
Right
Who,
up
who
my
It's
killed her?
hard. The
Who killed
way
her little
this
girl?
Casey Anthony.
Casey Anthony.
Right.
Guilty is. You know,
Right.
that girl couldn't have been any more guilty. She had a good lawyer and money, and her parents. And
Right.
That's it.
Nope.
That's it.
Because that, you
So
couldn't
is that
get any
fair
guiltier than that.
is that fair to the innocent guy who's being convicted
Yeah.
as guilty?
Or the little girl
because
that
he
she
can't
killed?
get anybody but a public defender
Well,
who just came out of law school,
rich-
doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, the rich.
That's not
get
right.
off.
Right? Exactly.
OJ. I mean,
And in
the rich get
politics,
off.
let's put a 10-year limit on
Oh, would you like
everything
to
in
get off?
politics.
I would love to.
Nobody can be in politics for more than 10 years. I don't care what level you are, whether you're a governor,
Ooh, I like
city
that.
mayor, congressman. It doesn't matter. After 10 years, get the hell
Oh, I
out and
kinda
go
like
do
that.
something else.
Go back to work.
I like that
yeah.
idea.
Because
Yeah.
now you're building relationships with pharmaceuticals and you're building relationships with so and so,
Lobby
and you're
groups.
going, you know what? I could use an extra $100,000. Yeah, throw it in my account. I'll vote your way.
Yeah. I
Like,
like that.
let's
I like
cut that
limit.
shit out.
I like that limit. Actually. I
Like,
think
come
that's a
on,
good
like
idea.
people, we're so stuck in fighting each other, Republicans and Democrats, that we're missing all the shit that we need to fix.
I agree.
It's horrible.
We
Here's
should
the
do like
problem.
8 years, like the way the president can only do 2 terms. It should be like that for everything.
For everything.
Yeah.
I don't. There should not be.
that's it.
2 terms
Right.
in Senate, 2 terms in House, and then out the door you
yeah,
go.
yeah. I like that idea.
Guys, what do you do about spouses that are married to people? This is a lot what's going on in the media today. With,
What do you mean?
like somebody from CNN is married to somebody that's in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, how do you stop that?
Conflict of interest.
They don't do
They-
that.
That's what I'm saying. But we can stop it with a
It's-
conflict
it's
of
not
interest.
politics. That's why they can do
Doesn't
it.
matter. Conflict of
I agree with
interest.
you, but I'm just saying that's the way it is.
Conflict of
This
interest.
all goes back to.
Yeah, they'll divorce anyway.
This
Right.
all goes back to just because you can doesn't mean you should. Thank you,
Right.
Travis Groves. But I mean, people aren't going to do that. This is a horrible, horrible thought on one hand, but it would do exactly what you're saying, or very well could do on the other hand. If there was some awful, and I mean horribly bad tragedy, like okay, what
Like
are
9/11.
Well, no, that's that's kindergarten compared to what I'm thinking of.
Oh, you're thinking like Armageddon?
I'm talking about what have they said?
Nuclear war?
Old Faithful. If Old Faithful, because that's a volcano.
Volcano.
Okay.
Yeah. It would
If
wipe
that
out
thing-
all of North America.
And there you have it. Now it would wipe out probably 98% of North America, except for the 1 or 2% who found some way to eke out their existence.
Right.
All of a sudden, however long later, we come up out of the hole, so to speak, and be like, okay, well, here we are. Then then we can go back. Okay, what we talked about back in 18, Frank?
Right.
Let's do it. Trace, what do you think? You in? Gene, how about you? What would you like to do?
I'm going to make an
It's
analogy.
nice and objective.
Does anybody watch The Walking Dead?
I was just going to say the same thing. You beat me to it.
Oh,
I beat you
yes.
to it.
See, I don't
Yes.
Because that is a perfect
It's
example
perfect.
of what we're talking
That's
about.
right.
So you
Is
don't
that
watch
right?
it. So
Yeah,
Tell
for
me.
sure.
So with The Walking Dead, it's an apocalypse. So that the world is completely in turmoil, and there's only a few people left in each.
They're spread out.
They're all spread out. Now this is a major, major, major catastrophe. I mean, the world is right?
Like there's less than 1 million people left.
Right.
Like
In
it's
the whole
probably
world.
probably like a couple thousand.
Right.
Yeek.
Possibly.
And that story really isn't about like the zombies and the apocalypse. What it really is about is how people
social Yeah.
social problems. It's like what's that book? Not Animal Farm. Is it Animal Farm? I'm thinking about that book with Piggy.
Yeah,
Is it Animal Farm?
I believe so.
With Piggy.
Hang on, I'm getting the highest sign. We got a phone call.
Oh,
Come on, hey, welcome to REALTOwn. Who we
Who
got
is it?
on the phone tonight?
What's up, John, Tracy? What's up, Frank?
Coach.
Coach Evans.
Hey,
up?
Coach
There
Evans, how you doing, buddy?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Oh man, we're
Just so you know, Coach, we're not going to be talking anything about football because you can beat us without us giving you any inside information.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So how y'all doing?
oh man,
Good.
doing okay,
how are
making it
you
work.
doing?
I'm doing. I got one thing for y'all.
Hit me.
Get off of the politics. I'm going to say this. And you know me, John.
I do.
You know me, Frank. I'm not a political person. I believe in my country because I served it
Here, here.
honorably.
Yep.
Agreed.
I believe in our president, no matter who it is. He's our commander-in-chief. But when it comes down to parties, it's getting so ridiculous
Agreed.
Yeah.
that
That's
you
the whole.
have
That's the whole problem,
a
Coach.
witch hunt
That's what I've been
that's
saying, Coach.
gonna go ablaze. You're going to have a witch hunt that's going to go ablaze because of people going outside the bounds.
Mhm.
There's no more boundaries.
That's right.
From what I see now, is if it goes to a police action, which military, everybody knows what that means,
Yep.
it's going to get ugly.
100%, for sure. And guess who's going to win? The military.
Well, it's not just the fact that the military will win. It's the fact that you'll have a downfall.
Right.
Anytime you have a country that's in the only way we can lose anything is if we blow up from within.
Agreed.
That's bottom line.
And that fuse
Nobody
is
can
lit.
come in here and take us over.
Agreed.
Right.
The only way we get to defeat it is if we blow up from within. And that's what you're seeing happening now.
You're exactly right. 100%, for
You
sure.
had the suggestions about, and I hate talking this politics bullshit, but
It's relevant, Coach. I mean, it's the heck of it is, Coach. It's relevant.
And the Democrats. And then you'd have to go to a new system.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
While you're putting this new system in and new people in, before you even had anybody sitting in office, you would be attacked.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Our kids will jump
True.
on our shit quicker than
I mean, you're exactly right. And this is the whole reason why I brought this topic up tonight was because it's out of control. It's completely going down a road that we cannot survive in
It's
at
just
all.
a mess.
It's horrible.
No one's thinking to put the brakes on, Coach, and that's what needs to. However, and I don't know how.
Hey, I don't have answers.
Whether it's with something that has decorum. Go ahead.
I take my ass down to Washington and make that shit right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Let me
you
know
would.
when you're coming through. You pick me up, would you?
Yeah, I'm with you, Coach.
I'm serious. You think
Y'all
I'm
know
kidding?
how I am.
I still got my helmet, Coach. I'll put it on.
Let's
We'll go.
I got my gear out in the garage,
Get
man.
the bus.
No doubt.
You and keep your helmets. So what's going, Frank? Are you involved? What are you doing? Are you doing anything in football?
Yeah, we're coming into your league, me and John.
Wait a minute.
You didn't.
Wait a minute. He
Wait,
said-
you didn't hear. That's why I said we're not going to talk about it on the air, Coach. I can't give you any fuel.
Hold on. Tracy, I'm sorry to bring this subject
Go ahead.
up, but I got to hear this.
Go ahead. It's all right.
You're in the league, right? GEF.
Yes, I am.
All right. Well,
I retired and I got pulled back in.
I saw your posting the other day that you're pulled back in. So that's why I told John. I told John today before the show started, we can't talk about football on the air anymore because we can't be giving out any information to these other teams.
See, Coach is like the Michael.
I give out.
Coach, you're like the Michael Corleone of
He pulled him
of
back.
football.
Every time I'm out, they pull me back in.
Exactly.
No, there's a group. Frank got a hold of me. What, about a month and a half ago?
Yeah, it's about a month ago.
Hey, what do you think about this? If yada yada, these guys and those guys are able to get it together. Are you up for maybe some coaching? I said, listen, I will coach. I do not right now, and for the foreseeable future, I do not want to own a team, run a team, manage a team, work the league, own the league, run the league, commissioner the league. I want to coach. I want to come in, do my thing. You guys are great, and whoop, got to go. Okay, and then show up on game days and emulate my inner Coach Evans. Okay.
Okay.
Ring punch and all.
So, Frank.
Yeah.
You own a team?
I do not. I'm with John. I just want to coach. I don't want any politics, as we were saying.
Who you with?
It's called the Monmouth
Rage. We just got voted in a couple weeks ago.
What do y'all say it?
The Monmouth Rage.
Monmouth.
Monmouth?
Yeah, Monmouth County.
Monmouth County.
Monmouth County, which is like down the shore, like the upper part of the shore here in Jersey.
Like the Freehold.
Okay, and you're the Rage.
Rage. Kind of like the old Orlando Rage.
Where the racetrack is. That's how I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I do not believe this conversation right now. Who's the owner?
Who's the owner?
Who's it, Nick?
I'm gonna say it's Janito.
Janito Torres. Yeah.
Janito Torres.
He was part of.
Not know him.
He was part of
the Brawlers. Right before I left, he was there one more year after me, but he was there with the Brawlers when we were in that league.
The Brawlers. Oh my God.
It's kind of the second
I know
incarnation.
him,
He's like freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, outstanding. I'm very happy to hear that. Very happy to hear it. Good for both of you.
Well, I can't wait for the schedule to come out and see when we're going to be able to visit, shall we say?
Yeah.
Now, the thing about it is, guys, I'm not coaching.
What?
Well,
I'm giving them a little bit of an edge that they haven't had in the last 4 seasons.
Of course.
They've had great
sharing your wisdom.
but
Advisor.
being able to get over the hump,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of like where me and John are. It's the same kind of thing. They have their own coaching staff, but they need help adapting to 8-man from 11-man, and me and John are being those guys.
There you go. So I'm just giving direction, discipline. You know me during practices.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I give like you're going to be doing. I give the coaches the insight and what I can,
Yeah.
And then when it comes game time, I can just sit back and maybe punch a couple helmets here and there. And
Right.
have coffee.
That's our goal. That's where we want to get to.
Frank, let me tell you, one time at practice in Wilkes-Barre, I was so angry I was angry with myself, and I was stepping on my kazoo left and right, and just blah blah blah. So I yanked my helmet off and threw it. That was not the thing to do. How do I know this? Allow me to tell you. Chuck, what are you doing? What do you mean, Coach? Go get that helmet. Do not disrespect your gear. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's exactly right. Good job, Coach.
So I did. I went, picked it up, dusted it off, cleaned it off, and I summarily got a ring punch. This big giant ring on the top of the helmet. Man, that is loud. I didn't do it again. I did not.
I haven't punched the top of the helmet, John. You're damn too tall and shit. I'm only 6'9".
He's got to kneel for that.
Exaggerating.
Make them kneel and then you do it.
I might have been down in my stance. Don't do that again. Yes, Coach. I will not do that again. And I didn't, man. But you're right, Coach. I mean, it's control, it's discipline, and I don't mean whipping up on people. That's not it. It's control. It's discipline. It's learning how to do your thing. It's molding these guys into good folks who know what they're doing, who enjoy the game. You win, you lose, or you what? And then, like you said, afterwards, everybody's friends. We go out, have a coffee, or whatever else, and everything is cool.
And here's the thing: you don't have to be friends. You have to learn to get along as a team on the field.
Well, yes.
And if you don't like the person, that's fine. But when you're on the team, you're a team.
Yeah.
And when you leave and you go home, you don't have to like them.
But when you're
that's part of this whole big problem.
Well, and there you have it. Brings it right back to dough. You know what? Just because I don't care for somebody doesn't. Like I said this today at work. Interestingly enough, and it even goes back to the Blaze and the Stallions, Coach. There is not one person where I work or on the Wilkes-Barre Blaze in 2000 or on the Susquehanna Valley Stallions for the 6 years that team was in existence. There is not one person that I didn't, can't, or won't get along with. Period.
No, there was one. Remember you had that brawl with that one player?
John, that's your character, though, John.
Well,
right, exactly.
That's in your DNA, John. That's in your character.
Well, and okay, and there's very few that I really feel the necessity, even if I just really can't stand them, to get into a thing with. Remind me, Tracy, who was
I don't know. I remember you telling me at work sometime you were like in this text war, like with one of the players, and he's a dink, and you were like so mad at him, and I just don't remember. It was
I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
I remember. You were mad though.
Oh, Scotty Reese. So he's
Hold on, I want to hear this shit. Stuff like that on John.
No, there was a guy from the league out there that we didn't see eye to eye, and I just like to get under his. Sir?
In Jersey?
No. He was up in Pennsylvania.
In the PA.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania. And I just like getting under his skin, and he would reel. He would absolutely just reel.
You were antagonizing him.
And I would just walk away. Okay, bye-bye.
Right.
Well, thanks for calling, Coach. You changed up our topic. Thank you.
I know, we're getting really depressing. I was just about to read off the most violent countries in the world.
Here, while you're at it, look up the obits, would you? Come on.
Yeah.
So what's
yes?
Go ahead.
Did John call me sir before?
He did.
He did. You should let him have it next time you see him, because you work for a living, Coach.
There you go, man. There you go. I earned Coach.
That's right.
Right. It's just me being respectful. I got taught that by my grandpa. Whenever he needed something repeated, he would just say, "Sir." So that's where that comes from.
That'll get a ring in the top of your head real quick.
No, I'm very glad to hear you guys are back into it. That it brought something to my life. I've been out since 2013, and when I got the opportunity to do this, it's very thrilling. It brings something back to your blood,
I agree.
Understood completely. No doubt at all. This is why we're doing it.
At practice, I can only give an hour. They go 3-hour practices, but because of my condition.
I understand.
But it's very fulfilling,
I agree.
But
yes.
I can't wait to meet you guys on our field of honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Get out of my head. I was just going to say something to that effect, but yeah, absolutely. I agree. I absolutely agree.
And when these guys are battling it out on the field, and I don't have to be yanking them or punching them, we can be talking bullshit and have a good time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Talk about some old times.
That's exactly right. Kick the birds out of the nest and watch them fly.
There you go.
Right on.
Well, listen, let me let you go.
Thanks, Coach.
More people that want to talk to you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Always great to hear from you. Absolutely.
Talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right.
John, Frank, you take care of each other.
Thank you.
Be well, Coach. Talk to you soon. Best to Mama.
Thank you.
You betcha. There he is, our good friend, Coach Evans.
Yeah.
No doubt, man.
I love following him
I
on
always think of
Facebook. He's
Cheers.
always
Yeah.
got something good posted.
Sir, I'm sorry?
Don't say sir.
Sorry?
He gets
No, I
upset.
said Cheers. The
Cheers.
show
Cheers.
Night Court.
Boston.
No. This show Cheers, they
Yeah.
had a character named Coach.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ernie
Yeah.
Pantuso.
He was
Yeah.
he was the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. Coach.
Hello. Hold on. Is there Tony Pantuso here? Coach, that's you. Oh, yeah. Hello.
Exactly. Great show. Great show. Anything else?
How
much time we got left?
Well, we're right up on it, I guess. We got about 5 to
minutes?
go.
5
Yeah,
minutes. All
about
right.
6:33, so we'll give it another couple few. But
Anything else anybody want to talk about? Well, we got this last few
I
minutes.
won't go back to that now. I think we need to move forward.
Yeah, that horse is pretty much.
We can bring that up in a couple weeks, though.
Yeah, I will.
I just,
After. The day after.
Oh, we have our big Halloween show next week.
Is it next
week? The Halloween bonanza.
I'm still
Big
trying to figure out what I'm going to
Halloween
come
show.
as.
Big Halloween show. What do you mean? You haven't thought about it yet?
I thought about it. I just haven't figured out which one I want to do.
I was going to come as a rear end and put peanut butter around my mouth. You know what I mean? No? No good? Okay.
I don't know. I kind of that just freaked me out, and you said that.
Sorry. My buddy used to always say that. I'm going to go as a butthole. I'm going to put peanut butter around my mouth. Okay.
I don't see how that correlates.
Thought that was kind of weirdly funny.
Yeah, no.
I got to go up in the attic.
So
some of the old
do you
Halloween
guys
stuff.
do you guys have it all picked out what you're wearing?
I do not. I mean,
I guess she's coming as Michael Myers.
No.
As Linda Blair.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
Scariest movie ever made, ever.
I don't know about that.
Coming this Halloween at a theater near you.
You know what kind of? Let's talk about movies for a second. You know what kind of movies really scare me?
Oh, look at that picture. How does that not scare you?
Oh, jeez.
I'm not saying it doesn't scare me.
Oh my God.
But what the movies that really get under my skin is the ones that have clips of real life events.
Ooh.
Like, have you ever seen the movie The Fourth Kind?
Oh, a while ago. That's like old.
It's not old. You're thinking of Encounters of the Third Kind.
Encounters of the Third Kind. The Fourth Kind, though, came out in the 90s. Isn't that the 90s?
No, it just came out like in after 2010.
Oh, snap. Let me look that
Yeah,
up.
you
Keep
better.
talking.
You better look it up. Go ahead.
Let me look that up.
It definitely wasn't the 90s
Listen,
for sure.
That coming from the guy who thought The Exorcist was Jason. So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying you were coming as Michael Myers because Halloween, wasn't because of the music.
Good cover. Good cover.
It wasn't because of
Go
the
ahead.
music.
Good cover.
But my point is that when
minutes,
you're
hurry up.
telling a story and maybe you embellish a little bit, but you have footage or real life events intertwined into the movie.
2009.
Right. There you go. See?
I don't even know what this is. What is this?
So,
Who's in this?
Nobody's in it.
Mila Jovovich in it?
No, is she? I don't remember her being in it. But it's based on a true story.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
I did see this movie.
Yeah.
I did see this movie.
So they showed all those clips from when they were with the psychiatrist.
Yes.
And like that stuff entwined into the movie. Like if I just saw that video, I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. But when you entwine it into the movie and you get the story that they build around it, that's the kind of movie that like sets me off a little bit, Like
a thriller.
I gotta walk around. I walk around the house with a gun on my hip,
It's a thriller involving an ongoing unsolved mystery in Alaska, where one town has seen an extraordinary number of unexplained disappearances during the past 40 years.
Yeah.
And there are accusations of a federal cover-up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a really good movie.
I've seen it, but I don't remember.
But when you
it.
see the
Is it bad?
actual videotapes of the sessions with the psychiatrist and the people that are telling
that
their
doesn't bug me
story,
that much.
it's like The Exorcist. The things that these people were doing in the sessions.
Nah,
Yikes.
no comparison.
See, I'm not a
I'm out.
movie guy.
I get what you're saying, but to me, The Exorcist is a movie.
It is a movie, but it's terrifying.
But it's not real.
It doesn't
when
matter.
you can show me
but
something
it's dealing with
real,
God and the devil. It's dealing with things that scare people internally.
I
Like,
agree.
The thought of going to hell for a lot of people is pretty freaking scary.
It doesn't bother me.
So maybe it's.
I'm going to hell, so
Are
I
you an
really.
atheist? Are you an atheist? Agnostic?
Yeah, I'd say agnostic.
So,
So
that's probably
maybe atheist.
If
I
you
don't
are
know.
a Christian in any way, that movie is freaking scary.
But I was raised Christian. I'm a
Well, you-
Catholic.
well,
but
no, I don't know.
my
shit out
my
of you.
issue is as I grew older, and here we go with the religious thing. As I grew older and learned that there's really not a God. Like, science is science, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Science is science.
Until you can prove to me that Jesus is here walking on water, I say it's just a book that
well,
somebody
it is
wrote.
definitely a book that somebody wrote, and I'll say that. But this is what I have to say: is it kind of goes back to what we were saying about how selfish of us to think that we're the only planet in the galaxy. And I remember that. Remember we said that.
Yep.
We said,
Last week, yeah.
But
I do.
I don't know if I believe in heaven as per se, like we're walking in the clouds and we're seeing our friends.
Waving.
I don't know about that. But
Right.
in my head, I kind of think if this is it, that sucks. So that's kind of what keeps me going and believing in a higher being, is because I can't believe this is it for us, because my mind has got way too much going on to think that when I die, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And I don't want to believe that. I don't.
But maybe that's why we need to make it a better place here.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
But I don't
Just
listen.
back
Because
to
maybe
go.
this is it.
I want to walk the earth forever. I want
Here-
to be like that. What's that in the Bible?
Oh, you don't.
What's his name?
Yeah, he lives forever.
walks
600, 700 years, whatever. yeah.
Centuries. No, centuries. I want to
Yeah.
be that person.
I
I want to walk forever. Forever.
If I don't
ever.
age and I can be a certain age and live forever, I'm good with that.
You're good with
But
that
I don't
too,
want to
right?
keep aging, and then by the time I'm 300 years
See,
old, I'm like
that's the rub.
dropping fingers off. You know, like there's got to be some kind of a middle in there, right?
I'll wheel around. I don't care.
but
You got long
if
age
you
in
go
your
back,
longevity.
if you go back and look in history,
Yes.
religion was made to control people. That is a historical fact.
I think I agree with you on a lot
So-
of ways. Yes.
You know,
I also agree in
There was-
cavemen. I agree.
if you look at the Bible and you hear the stories and you see this, those things all started at a certain time. So there was
Correct.
no God before that,
Doesn't say that.
right? It doesn't
Doesn't
say
say
there
that there
is or
was.
isn't.
Well, but Jesus
But there's-
came to tell everybody
Right,
about God.
so-
Like, I'm here, and I'm going to let you know what's going on up there, because, I'm the son, and I'm going to let
Right.
you know.
So doesn't that, to me, in my brain, that raises suspicion
So do you think
that
when
somebody
we
made him
die,
up and wrote a book?
do you think that when we die, that's it?
Of course,
You truly
for
believe
sure,
that?
100%.
You think we're done?
Two sides to that
I'm-
coin.
Wow.
And
So
speaking of the
scary.
coin, my
Yeah.
watch is about the size of a
I want to be
quarter.
reincarnated as, like, I don't know, a cat or something. Something cool.
So
Keep
speaking of
keep
reincarnated,
Keep the thought fresh, because we got to punch out.
I know.
It's 20
Well,
of
I
already.
got so much to say.
But hey, we got we got lots to say.
we need
Lots
to
do.
get more time.
The hour
This
goes
1 hour
by
a week
in
is
a
horrible.
Blur.
I
It
got
goes
so
by
much
in a
to say.
blur. And you know what? If you're able to, whether it's live or you catch the link on Facebook, whether it's on the Real Time with John and Tracy and Frank page, or on
And Frank.
my page if we're friends, or on Tracy's page if you're friends, or anybody's page.
Special guest star,
Right, a
Frank
special guest
Cicino.
star. Frank Cicino. He is our Jonathan Harris. The pain. However you can see
danger.
it, however you can grab it, live or after, you better listen. You ought to listen. Thanks for
Tell your
listening.
friends.
Thanks for watching. Until next Wednesday. Ooh, the Halloween bonanza.
Or Halloween, but don't forget, Halloween, we're going to do something special. I don't know what it's going to
Lord
be,
knows
but
what
it's
it
going to be
is.
special.
I might come in a cow suit. Who knows?
I'm just coming in a
Anyway.
trench coat. That's it.
As a weird guy.
Streaker. Are you going to
Pervert.
open your
I'm
trench coat
gonna have
and
a
be
trench
naked?
coat
in it?
and a radio.
Are you going to flash?
I'm just gonna
Say
stand like this.
anything.
John
Oh.
and
But there's not
Tracy.
gonna be nothing on underneath my
it'll be-
trench coat,
It'll be
though.
Real Time with John Tracy and Uncle Pervy right here on Real Town Radio. Peace. We out of here.